I got a bunch of land machines to put back together, so I figured I'd stream it all out for you. We do the old-fashioned kind of landing. We actually show up all together and play games. We play Unreal Tournament 2004. Yes, I know. We play Unreal Tournament 2007. Yes, I know. And Crisis Wars, Quake 4. Look, man, we're fucking 45 over here. Of course we're going to play old shit. On top of that, the majority of the games... the majority of the games we play because I am providing most of the goddamn equipment, because every time someone gets a new computer they say, "Hey H, you want a new machine?" And of course I say, "Give me the goddamn machine," because I'm greedy and I will never have enough computers. So unfortunately, because of space constraints, I have to keep everything in the basement, and I thought I weatherproofed their containers well enough. But it turns out that's a great big fucking no. So this device here and this device here ended up with condensation in them, and I went to plug this one in and I heard, so you can imagine what that might be. So I'm going to try to see if these are dried out enough right now. This one is an HP Envy. It was originally built for Vista, but it's got an AMD Phenom X4 in it, which means bunches and bunches of processor cores. It's got an 8400 GS in it, so it's really not a bad machine at all. So it's kind of banged up. So I had to do a lot of interesting things. So what I'm going to do right now is just reseat some stuff and hope that that's sufficient to get it to turn on. So I got to remember how to do that with this device. It's been quite a while since I did any major hardware revisions to these devices. And this one came with a really good video card. Yeah, not too shabby, right? It's not bad at all. Still spins, still sweet, doesn't smell like it's burnt out. As a matter of fact, nothing in here smells burnt or anything like that. It just seems like it doesn't want to start. This thing's got a built-in wireless card, which would be very helpful when I finally decide to get rid of that stupid 16-port switch that I stole from my fucking employers back in 1999. But you know what? We play, and it kicks ass, and we kill each other, and we drink, and we eat all kinds of amazing stuff cooked by ourselves and our friends. So we have a great time. This thing did power up. I did get lights, I did get the exhaust fan, but I'm thinking this has got to be a motherboard thing, because the CPU fan decided, you know what, I'll start for a little bit, but forget it, I'm going to go right back off. So I think it's a good bet that the motherboard is not everything it could be. So I'm just going to reseat some stuff in here. Take the power cable, the motherboard cable that is, the drive cable. I can hear the drive spinning up, so a lot of things are getting power. See, that's all nice and secure. That's fine, that reads that right. I'll reseat the memory here. Oh yeah, because that seems to have worked a little loose. Interesting. That might explain why there was no video. There should have been something anyway. Alright. So there's not a whole lot of components on here, so there's not a whole lot to do. As you can see, it's a standard manufacturer's layout. The cables are a goddamn mess. There's nothing. Everything's on the board except for the wireless and the video. Unfortunately, I can't make this thing last longer than I really want it to, even if I can get it back together now, because I cannot put another video card in here. And I mean SLI by that. Alright, so that's back in place, that's reseated. Oh yeah, these things don't even have, there it is. Alright. Let's secure this again. I know the power supply is fine, or nothing would come out, nothing would change at all. Nothing would do anything. Alright, that's secure, that's tight, that's in place. These are irritating, but they don't really matter. I don't even know what most of these things are for. This is actually one I got from a pal of mine, and it's got this really neat backup thing to it. You can actually throw a backup drive in it, hello, and then make it an external drive as well. So it's got a nice little USB connector back there. It's pretty neat. Let's get some power. Let's get some video. Where the hell did I put? There's power for the video and the monitor. I gotta find the DVI cable here. I don't know where the DVI cable was. Here it is. It was on another machine altogether. Alright. So let's get that connected first, like a good little technician. Let's grab one of these. Plug this in. Whoop. As you can see, there is power. Let's get this. Oh, that's as high as it can go already. Okay. Alright, let's hit the switch. See what happens. Wow, went straight to power save mode. That only means a couple of different things. Alright, so that means there is no video output. Whether that's because the card is dead or something else is right now unclear. So, no CPU fan. Got the exhaust fans fine. Lots of lights. Let's tune it down. And see, that thing went. So that thing's getting power too. But something is telling it it shouldn't bother going. You can hear the drive spin up. It's a 750 gigger, so it was top of the line when it was bought. Unfortunately, I don't have any diagnostic hardware. DVI, power save. Alright, let's take the power off the hard drive. Let's take get all this shit out of the way, Jesus. I really wish this was a lot more efficient. I mean, look at all this shit I've had to put away. Look at that. Let's take out a pair of RAM sticks. Give it some juice. Nope, CPU fan does the exact same thing. Monitor goes right back to power save. Yep. Alright. So it's not the motherboard reading that much wrong anyway. Take the remaining RAM out. Sometimes I think when I see the specs on these guys' machines, I'm like, oh yeah, what nephew did you pay to put that together for you? Did you pay him in peanut butter sandwiches? Oh, CPU does the same thing. Still no output. Let's kill it. I'm going to reset the BIOS. No, I'm not, because it's behind the video card and I don't want to rip that out again. Let's put that aside for a moment. I really hate to think the CPU is corroded or anything like that. Just so you know, this is also where I shoot Trooper Johnson. I got my lighting set up right here, and if you go to facebook.com/VadersPA, you'll see exactly the kind of stuff I shoot here. Alright, this one is not nearly as advanced a piece of hardware. This I slapped together from remnants that other people had given me over the years, that I had salvaged out of my own pieces over and over again over many years. Why is that disconnected? For some reason I got the DVD drive disconnected. You know what, this thing is so old, the DVD drive is still IDE, you know what I'm saying? That's how ancient these things are. I don't know why I disconnected that. That could be confusing a lot of things. Put that back together. Find some power for it. I mean, this is cheap shit. I mean, this is a motherboard I purchased at least, good God, at least 8 years ago. No, far more than that. This is an Asus P5 GD2. So if you want to look that up, tell me how old it is. That would be pretty cool. Oh, this goddamn SATA power out of the way. I bought this case because my last case was pissing me off. I wanted a little more room to be able to actually manipulate some fucking things. As you can see, it's not doing well on that front. Okay, that's plugged in. I did give it a little SSD so it would go a little more quickly on the boot. And the video card's kind of ancient. It's super duper cheap. Alright, it's got as much RAM as this board can actually handle. I actually forget what fucking chip is on here, to be honest with you. It can't be more than a Core Duo 2.4 though. Pretty sure. Alright. So let's do the same routine here. Plug in the DVI first. It recognizes it. Plug in the power. And oh, the motherboard sees juice. But again, the CPU fan does nothing. By the way, I've had these upstairs trying to dry them out for 2 weeks, but it's been so goddamn rainy in Connecticut that hasn't really helped. Alright, so let's Give it another whirl here. Ooh. It seems like it wants to try, and then it says, you know what? Fuck that. So let's do the same thing again. Disconnect this ridiculously old and terrible video card. And yet somehow, by the grace of the gaming gods, this thing actually plays Crisis Wars. Can you believe that shit? Look at this. This is nothing. This is kind of a bullshit card to be playing, man. And yet it works. So whatever. It's got 2 gig on it. It's an EVGA. It's a can't even fucking tell. They never put the actual models here. They always put part numbers and shit like that. But I think it's an EVGA P3-1302RX, which means absolutely nothing to fucking anybody at all. But again, it works. So what are you gonna do? Yeah, there's no name on this anywhere. I forget why I even bought this. Alright, so we'll reseat this. For a minute there, I thought this thing was actually not VGA, but AGP. That would have been crazy. The hell? Oh, dude, I just fucking sliced myself up. This is why these steel cases are bullshit. You know, I don't even know where there it is. How's it going? How about a little graphic violence there, huh? How about that? I don't even know what... I really don't know what I sliced that on. I think I did it on the video card. Am I going to get banned from Twitch for excessive violence? Displays of actual blood? Am I going to get in trouble, fellas? Alright, again, I'm going to pull out all the RAM. And this is why shit don't last in the swamp, yo. God, this thing couldn't possibly be more than a Core 2 2.4 tops. Not even an i5. I'm talking like P4. 3 even. Jesus. There's a bit of mildew on everything. And that does smell a bit like ozone. So that's curious. Okay, so the monitor knows it's connected to something. Where the hell is the switch? Oh, yeah, I forgot to turn on the power supply. Oof. This thing, I don't think this thing is even supplying power to the right places anymore. So what I'm going to have to do, and that's the laundry, what I'm going to have to do is test all these individual parts in a known good machine, and that's going to be a real pain in the ass. So I have to keep that hardware together. There really isn't anything else in there. Yeah, I really don't want to buy a whole new used motherboard just to reuse that CPU, if it's even usable. I mean, I don't have a CPU tester. Who the fuck does? You don't. Right, let's grab this one. Already got the RAM out of that one. Always secure your screws. Even if you have to do it from Tinder. That wasn't funny. Nobody cares. You know, I could just swap these first. I don't have to take everything out of everything. Although, I mean, the symptoms are identical. So, hey, it's the motherboards. I mean, that's all there is to it. may end up giving some of these parts to my nephews. And if you're watching, by the way, look up at my, oh, I didn't swap it out yet. Look up at my followers list and give my nephews some loving. You know, they're looking for followers. It's not going to hurt. One of them plays Diablo a lot, League of Legends, Warframe. Lots of fine stuff. Give them a go. Boy, this thing refuses to stop bleeding, huh? Maybe it's all that fucking booze I did. Oh shit, look at that. I got blood on there too. God damn, son. Believe me, I'd rather be playing Warcraft. Nope. Same job. I didn't hear the drive that time, though. Okay. Okay, yeah, I heard it that time. But it's the same deal. It's not supplying power. Or, you know, I don't think it's supplying power right anymore. I really don't have a way to test this. I mean, unfortunately, the multimeter I had since fucking high school in the 80s finally died on me. And that was disappointing. And that pissed me off. I had used that thing for literally decades, testing out just this exact shit. And I go to use it a few months ago, get a little continuity test, see if fucking wire's in place. Thing shows me infinite resistance on a copper wire. So I figured, oh, it's open. There's an open circuit there. This wire's broken. And guess what? 3 more wires I tested the same way said the same thing. I said, well, that can't be true because these things are perfect. I was just using these. These are my known goods. Blammo. Turns out, I got no multimeter. Nope, same thing. I'm not even getting beeps for the missing RAM. That should tell you a lot. Damn, I even bought this machine, one of 2, off of my pal Andrew, who, by the way, is a really amazing photographer, and you should check out his Instagram and Twitter. Check out my Twitter, Super Macho Jedi Knight, and look for Andrew Kolstad, A Kolstad Photos, Andrew Kolstad Photographer, Andrew's Brick Pics, which is his Lego stuff. Check them all out. My God, this thing will not stop fucking bleeding, dude. Look at this shit. Alright, so this thing's got to be toast. I don't... It's got to be toast. And since it's an AMD, I don't have any other motherboards to test it with. So, but, I think I'll go down to the Kogan fairs, which is the super duper cheap computer fair that everybody has in their region. Get the drive out of that later. Now I tested this one just a week or 2 ago, and it was perfecto. This thing, this thing is a Windows XP Media Center Edition 2005, and yet with the right video card, we play Crisis Wars on a LAN. So let's just double check that this thing is still running. Although with my luck, this entire time, this has not actually been the machines, but the monitor. But no, that doesn't make sense because the CPU fans still aren't turning on. Alright, so it's got some kind of power. Let's hit the switch. Whoa. Really? Ah, very good. Whew, that was close. Thought I lost 3 fucking machines there for a minute. Alright, so this thing originally had XP. It had 3 gig because it's 32-bit. I mean, the thing's fucking 13 years old, for God's sake. Alright, system battery voltage is low. Okay. That's alright, because I'm using it to test other pieces of hardware anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So let's get that undone. Let's get this opened up. This is one of the things I hate about the Dells. Everybody else puts it on the goddamn left side. These idiots put it on the right side. Okay. Alright, let's take out this video card. If I can remember how to do that. Ah, there it goes. I mean, that's kind of ingenious, but it's also just tremendous pain in the ass. Alright, so let's do that. This one's 9500 GT. Not bad. I've had that for a while. I'm going to start with the cheap ass one. Alright. Reconnect this. And you may be wondering, Age, Jesus Christ, you still got an XP machine? And I'm like, yes, because it's the only thing that plays fucking Aliens vs. Predator 2. And I adore that fucking game. So, alright, great. This video card does work. Okay, good. You also may wonder, well, geez, Age, if you're gonna have XP, fuck, man, at least put it on an SSD. Well, guess what, pal? SSDs are exclusively... Actually, I think this is a Radeon, isn't it? Let me see here. I really don't remember what this thing is. There's not a maker's mark anywhere on it. I hate that, don't you? Fucking branded pieces of shit. And I don't mean that in this piece of shit way. I mean that in the branded way. Alright, so it recognizes there's an electrical connection. Actually, it recognizes that there's new resistance across the boards, across the pins. That's how that works. This thing could be completely without power, and it would still see a resistance change against the pins in the cable, so it would know that there's a video card there. Alright, very good. We got 3 working video cards. Probably give one of these to my nephews. The 2080s came out today, and the big ones, the TIs, are at Newegg for $1,200 fucking dollars, which is more than all 3 of the machines and all these components combined, and also my entire upstairs rig that you've been watching me play fucking Doom on. That didn't cost me $1,200 because I chose my components wisely and carefully. And with the future in mind. That's not entirely true. I did screw up on, I did screw up on the video card. The GTX 650s weren't SLI, and I made sure that my motherboard was SLI, but I didn't make sure my video card was. I just assumed all GeForces were now SLI forever and ever. It's totally wrong. Alright, so we're going to test out this RAM. One stick at a time. Because honestly, it's probably too big for this BIOS to deal with anyhow. Alright, I gotta put the original card back in. Yeah, see, this one's got SLI. What about the others? Jesus. So I'm eyeballing a couple of 1070s to do SLI on my current rig so it can last forever. Because I'm not going to need fucking 8 cores anytime soon. I have tried so hard to tax out that 8 core and it just won't fucking do it. Alright, that is not conclusive. Because it's only one. Oh, a little dirty. These are Hynix sticks. I'm here to tell you, man, all you guys out in the PC master race, you think you gotta have, you know, a fucking 1080, you think you gotta have it at 1920 blah 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 by 7 billion 64 at 8 trillion color depth, and it has to do 400 FPS. Shit just ain't true, Holmes. Your eyes cannot tell the fucking difference between 60 and 100 frames per second. You can't. You cannot. The human eye is not built that fast. Go take some biology, you'll see. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so it's still up in the air whether this memory works. But it did power up, so they can't be that bad. The problem is all this spare shit. I mean, I'm working from spares of spares, you know? I bought old shit so it would work in old shit. And now, I got old shit that won't work anywhere. So, I mean, what can I do? I can try to eBay this shit, but, I mean, people like me are the only ones that are going to want this shit, and they're cheapskates, so it's not like I'm going to make any fucking money off of these things. I mean, how do I never remember that? God, it's like I'm a kid again. I don't remember how to put in fucking memory. Everything's been working so well for so many years. And now everything's broken. I gotta actually bring my hardware chops back into play. So actually, you know, in one sense, this is actually super duper annoying. But in another sense, it's ridiculously exciting. Because this is what I did for years. Years and years and years. This is what I did. I hacked hardware. Well, I can't say hacked. I shouldn't say hacked. Yep. Still not conclusive because this memory was not made for this device. So, it's very difficult to tell. Really should have brought some bags down here, huh? I got nothing to put these in to differentiate what's what. Well, I guess as long as I keep them together, it won't be so bad. I guess I'll just have to work it all out later. I'm going to try these. No, these are the original. These are the original. Let's see if these act any differently. These are even older though. This is rendition, for God's sake. These are 1 gig strips each. And I started watching a new TV show today. It's got 2 seasons into it, but I hadn't known about it till before this past weekend when I was looking for sitcoms to watch on the commute. It was at Kim's Convenience. And the stars are exclusively Korean, which I like because I spent 2 years in there. I spent 2 years in the army in Korea. Alright, the hard drive spun up. But again, this is the wrong kind of memory. So, you know what? They're all identical, so I'm not even... Well, no. A couple of them are Kingston. So, let's see what the Kingstons do, actually. And then we'll call that board... all those boards dead. I mean, I'm calling them dead now, but come on, you know what I'm saying. I was going to use my Kindle Fire to watch some stuff while I was down here. Hard drive spins. You get that little cat purr of a nicely spinning drive. Nothing. Try the second stick just to see what shakes loose. And you really should get at least a BIOS warning of some sort. I wonder how many of you have actually put together your own computer before. I mean, actually constructing it with your own hands. I mean, yeah, I know a few of you have, but my nephew wants to stream, and he plays pretty well. But I had to help him put in a goddamn hard drive and memory, and that's, I mean, you just slap it in place. There's nothing to that. There's literally nothing to do with those. You just slap them in place. Alright, I won't call this memory dead, but they're definitely no good on that on any motherboard I own. So, let's slap this thing back together. This is the original sticks for this machine. I may have to bring this upstairs so I can stream some Aliens vs. Predator for y'all. So I can guarantee any of you under 20 have never seen it or played it. It came out in 2001. It does not play on 7, Vista, or 8 or 10. So, unless you were really super young, you had a hardcore Aliens fan parent, you have no idea what Aliens vs. Predator 2 is. Some brain surgeon decided that they would report the original AVP for PC, and that got a little bit of press, and everything was fine and dandy with that. But the better game, they left alone. It's like, what you doing, fellas? Give me the better game. I'm going to just make sure everything's back together on this. It always takes a minute. Okay, I don't like that. Oh, that's not good. Okay, that's secure. Those are secure. The hell? Okay, goddamn it, what's happening here? Did I put in the wrong set of memory? That can't be right, right? Yeah, these are the... These are Samsungs. 1 gig each. Did I just kill this motherboard too? Holy shit on a shingle. I think I killed another machine. Damn you. I really have a hard time believing I damaged the motherboard just by putting dumb memory in it. I mean, come on. Really, fellas? Oh, that one wasn't even secured. God damn. I would put more RAM in this, but I don't have a 64-bit XP to take advantage of it. So 3 gigs is about as far as this one gets. And believe me, I'm not paying eBay prices for 64-bit XP. They can fuck off. Well, what in tarnation has happened to this thing now? That one's secure. That one's secure. Unless the monitor's in that permanent power save mode that they like to get into sometimes. These are supposed to be hot swappable. Well, buggery shit. Is this the wrong set of RAM to begin with? Damn it, is that insecure again? There, now they're all secure. I'm certain of it. That's better. Jesus Christ, how come that wasn't... What the hell was that all about? Alright, we got a keyboard failure because there's no fucking keyboard. So, alright, let's put these back in fucking properly. Alright, that's really in there this time. For a minute there, I had some bizarro fantasy that Dell matched up individual strips to individual slots, and I'm like, no manufacturer in the universe has ever done that. Not even Apple. All right. Right. All right, so and those motherboards got to be shot. There's no other explanation for anything else. No, don't tell me it's the power supply. I've never had a power supply in 20 plus years that would spin up a hard drive, would spin up an exhaust fan, but wouldn't spin up a goddamn CPU fan. So that ain't it, kids. Sorry, but I know a lot of you builders and performance artists in fucking PC world like to think everything boils down to the goddamn power supply, but the reliability is far more important than, you know, how many 10 billion fucking rails you got or how many terawatts you can pump out of that thing by tweaking the rheostat in the left framadam. Okay? You know, I learned all my shit from breaking things. A lot of you learn all your stuff from just slapping shit together and then getting tired of it and then slapping something else together. I've seen you guys on Tom's Hardware. I know what I'm talking about. So let's put this back together. And I'm going to leave this one plugged in so there's a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of power. So there's a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of power coming through to it. And that'll keep the moisture out of it. Alright, I gotta straighten out this cable. This is fucking ridiculous. Alright, this goes over here. Plug that in, set that way out of the way. Really gotta clean this shit up. This is the first motherboard that died on me. This was a very nice Asus. It kept me going for many years. It kept all kinds of LAN stuff together. I'm going to pop the CPU out of it. See if I can get something off of eBay for it. This is it's an Intel something. Pretty sure it's a P4. My eyes aren't what they used to be. Get all that Arctic silver off of there. Is that still a thing? People still use Arctic silver? Let's see. You can't even tell. The print's too goddamn small. Anyway. Put that in here and try to sell it. You know what? I'm totally calling this one dead. So let's deconstruct this disgusting beast, huh? I'll put some music on, but I don't want the soundtrack muted by Twitch. So there goes that idea. Thank you. Thank you. See, the great thing about being a cheapskate is this little, what was it, 64 gig SSD. I got 4 of these at a time for like 30 fucking bucks. And you know what? It plays these games. They only need to be active to load up. After that, the game really doesn't do much. On my main machine, what I did, I took an extra one of these, and I made it my paging file. That way my C drive, which is another SSD, doesn't have to suffer. And oh, did you know that, kids? Ugh. Fucking mildewy. Look how old this thing is, man. It's fucking IDE. Have you ever seen that? I'll bet you haven't even put together a machine that's IDE yet. What a damn mess. I think I'll throw that away for the last time. It'll be the last one I have. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. One of the power connectors there is kind of loose. Like the mounting on the motherboard is loose. Oh no, that's not it. Nope, I lied. That's not true at all. See, this is why I got a Rosewood 4 for my main machine. Because this diddly bopping around here and getting my fucking thumbs cut and all that horse shit. No, sorry, bye. Don't like it. Come again some other day. I'm going to sell this thing on eBay and say, uncertain if it works. Take a chance. 10 bucks. And you know, somebody with an old ass machine that wants to put the effort into it. What the hell? Get the fuck out of here. Who did that? I don't even remember doing that. I have to take this apart with a fucking socket because the screws don't have. That's amazing. I didn't even remember doing that. The screws don't have slots or Phillips heads. They're exclusively. Here they are. No, I don't have those either. God damn. They're fucking exclusively hexes. That's beyond fucked up. I hate taking off heat sinks. It's fucking ridiculous. Remember, kids, if you're going to put together a computer, always put the heatsink on first, then put the motherboard in. Alright, this is going to be the final nail in the coffin, kids. There we are. It's over. That motherboard is completely fucking useless. This is another Intel something. I guess I'll send them as a package. I'm going to keep this case though, because eventually I'll find some cheap motherboards that aren't as irritating. Let's see if we can read this one. 2.68 gigahertz Melee. Yeah, it's a 4. Alright. I'm still not convinced about that one though. I really like that machine. It's been very, very good. It kicks some major ass. We'll see. I don't know. So I can't take this motherboard out yet till I go get my sockets, which I really don't feel like doing right now. So this poor bastard goes off in the corner with the last one. Oh, there's the cover for it. Oh no, that's the cover for this one. Okay, now this one is exclusively parts. I don't know if you can see that from here. This horrific monstrosity used to be a WinXP 80 gig drive, 2 gig of RAM, Athlon 3400, and FireWire. I got this for my pop as a strictly storage device. And as you can see, it's very old. It's got IDE still. Although my dad, because he absolutely adored redundant storage and did video, needed the raw video space. So he put a shitload of fucking hard drives in it. Okay, value select, the hell? 512, Infineon, 512. Does that tell you about how old this thing is, huh? 512s? Jesus. It doesn't have much for a video card. I mean, what is this thing? The hell is that? Again, no maker's mark. But it's so old it doesn't even have DVI. So what's that fucking about? Gotta figure out how to get this goddamn heatsink off of here. It's got a latch. Oh, wait. Oh, I think oh, yeah. It's got a latch and one of those clippy things. God damn. There we go. What the hell? Holy shit, that's why it wouldn't start. Holy crap-a-roly. Look at that shit. It's stuck on there. The goddamn zip slip is still on there. And the fucking thing came off with the heatsink. That can't be natural, can it? Can it? Anybody know if Acers did that? Let's pop this fucker off and see what it's all about. Nope, that was definitely just pasted on there. No wonder the zero insertion force socket wasn't even locked in. That thing just came off. What was this ridiculous thing? This was one of the Acers, right? This is one of the Athlons, yeah. Ooh, it's even a 64. So, totally can't tell. Oh yeah, it's a 3400. Actually, 3 main machines ago, I had a 3400. And it beat the crap out of everything I put it through. It was wonderful. So, I'm not going to say a whole lot of bullshit about this. That's probably garbage. It's just regular old aluminum. More SATA cables. More SATA cables. I'm gonna have to get a new multimeter just to test all this shit I'm ripping apart, huh? I'm going to keep the case because I'm pretty sure the power supplies are actually just fine. You can always use another case. Over time, I can find 3 more cheap motherboard combos. And let me remind you kids, the video card and the memory are the most crucial things ever. If you can get 2 mid to low range video cards that will SLI, then it's not quite double, you know, an old machine, or rather a better hard drive. But god damn it, it's not quite better than a really, really good card. But it will work. It will play things. You know, you may not have your holier than thou bragging rights. And let's be real here. The only reason most people get hardcore machines is so that they can say they've got hardcore machines. Because fuck that. Doom at 1920 is the same on an Athlon as it is with anything else. Just because you got more money doesn't mean you're a better person and you're a better gamer. Yep, that's what it was. That's the old fucker. You dig that? Huh? Can you see that? Not too shabby. Or at least it wasn't at one point. So I got 2, yeah, I got the CPU out of that one. 2 bad motherboards. A bunch of fucked up cases. God, I gotta clean this thing. And a shitload of cables. I'm gonna have to come down here tomorrow night. And, I'm gonna try to work on that thing some more. Maybe if I reseat the CPU. I don't know. I'll have to look up what that is. See if I can find a cheap motherboard replacement. Because if I can get a motherboard for like $35 fucking to replace that thing, who gives a shit? I mean, it'll serve its job. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I never put the video card back in there. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to bother packing up this shit tonight. It's either going to work tomorrow or it won't. So, right. If you came along, I'm glad you came along. If you didn't, well, fuck you too. I mean, pretty basic. Have a great night, kids.